has some of the most brilliant people, some of the most innovative people all over the world. There's just no basis for the condition in which Nigeria is today. And that is the reason why we are offering ourselves to take the country back, and we are urging our compatriots, our co-citizens, to do the same thing wherever they might find themselves. And for those who can vote, to make sure they vote. Those who can't, to fund the process and to mobilize those who can vote. And to just say, hey, for the first time, we want to bond together and jettison our religious differences, our ethnicity, and all of those things have been used to divide us. Because that's the only reason we've remained conquered for 58 years.
Wow. We won't be taking any call right now because we have so much that we want to put across, to the incoming president. I'm also gonna have Prince Eze to be on the seat, and also Mr. Emeka at one point to join us.
Maybe I should also say that the outgoing president is also in London.
Well, we're gonna have you. You're coming in, and yes. We also have we've already mentioned that. But the most important thing is we will have Prince Eze. He's one of the the community leader as well right here in United Kingdom, and he's also an advocate for humanity. So he will be joining us on this platform as well. And also we have a publisher, Mr. Emeka Anya. He's also going to be joining us as well, so that we can be able to get it going. But I don't want to waste too much time. Would it be more relevant to have 36 Sowore in the Senate rather than being the president, so as to make a difference?
When you say 36, this Nigerian Senate has 109 people.
Okay.
Yes. And I am not aspiring to become a senator. I have actually said that I would love to abolish the Senate if I can. So I cannot apply for a job that is no longer going to be in existence. But that's not the issue. The issue is that we must start to dream big so that we can be free in a big way. The most important position in Nigeria is the position of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. If I wanted to be a senator, I would have gone to the Senate. But what the Senate does to me is it limits my ability to contribute to my quota in a way that I want to do it. If you have a chance to have a big package, you don't settle for a fraction of it. If I were to be in the Senate, I would be a good senator, but I would be a better president than being a good senator. Like I said, I don't know if there are too many people who are proud of our Senate. I've not hidden my position on the Senate that it's an organization or a body that is right now peopled by rogues. The Senate President is undergoing trial for corruption. About at least 50 senators are involved in corruption allegations. One of them is in jail. I think two of them are in jail as we speak for stealing and corruption. So you don't expect me to go to such a place and make an impact. I cannot find myself in a company of rogues when I know that what needs to be done is a real job. I'm going for the real deal. So those who are limiting their ability to dream big should just come with us, because that is also another thing, is that this is good. We're infecting people who have low self-esteem to get it right, to not be afraid, to get their esteem up, that anybody can be the president of Nigeria. And that's another point I want to prove by doing what I'm doing. And all it takes is for you to have the motivation, to have the intellect and the capacity to do it. So far, the people who have been running the country, Nigeria, are people with low intellect, people with limited capacity and capability, people with limited vision, if not blurry vision, people without mission. So, and we can't keep rewarding those characters with better or bigger responsibility. That's why we are where we are today.
Okay. How do you intend to cut down the expense of House of Rep? I mean, you want to abolish the Senate. If you have,
That's if I have.
If you have your way.
If I have my way.
If you have your way.
Course,
but how do you intend?
The Nigerian Senate is a waste of money, waste of resources, waste of space and time. What we should go back to doing is investing in the Nigerian people. what the law says, the Senate or the National Assembly right now is breaking the law. The law for revenue allocation says that an average Senate, each senator is only entitled to $1.5 million as monthly allowances. Right now, they are taking home 13.5 million naira. If you multiply that by 1 year, the allowance is not salary now of a Nigerian senator is higher than the salary of a civil servant receiving 100,000 naira, no, 300,000 naira per month times 35 years. So somebody who's going to work for 35 years as a Nigerian civil servant will receive the same amount a senator is receiving in a year in allowances alone. The senators also have allocations they call constituency allowances of 200 million naira per year every budget cycle, which they practically steal. They carry out another criminal agenda, which is what they call oversight functions. And the oversight functions takes them to ministries, departments, and agencies of government. And it's purely an extortion racket. So they force them to bribe them, otherwise they would not approve of their budgets. So after the budgets are approved, they still go back to these ministries to force them to send them on foreign missions, they force them to pay them extra codes, they force them to employ their friends. So this racket has to stop. Our nation must be put back on the path of progress, peace, and prosperity. And we cannot do it when we have criminals managing our affairs.
Wow. Thank you very much for that. Once again, for those of you that have joined us, you've got all your fans that have been, putting in a lot of questions, but we will hold on to that. But what I want us to, to look at is, what are the plans in mobilizing youth at the grassroots across the country?
When you talk about young people or youth, you're talking about how best to reach them.
Yeah.
Our strategy is to use social media. That's one of the major factors. There are over 40 million Nigerians on Facebook alone, one of the biggest in Africa, if not in the world. And they stay engaged. They interact a lot. And we have to just use that. Today, the biggest billboard in the world is WhatsApp. Millions of our young people are on there. Not only young people, old women, men, a lot of people. Nigeria has more internet penetration than a lot of countries in the world. There are more mobile phone users in Nigeria than you have in Canada and the UK combined. Because most Nigerians have 2 cell phones. We're like, a status symbol. You must have an iPhone, the latest, for some people, and a Samsung. And several others like that. Some have more than 4 cell phones, because, which is part of our problem that has to be solved by a new competent president, is that the cell phone companies, the telecom companies are killing Nigerians with billing. So, and they have poor services. So for you to function across Nigeria, you must carry at least 1 telephone line per telecom company. So if you get past, we were in Sowore. You couldn't get signal anywhere in Sowore. If you don't have, for every street you have to use a different phone line to get great communication. Same thing for different parts of Nigeria. So again, we have to reach them, and we are reaching them. And all these young people, as you can see, they're following us, and they're not just following us; they are organizing themselves around our ideas, around our agenda, around the things that we have verbalized that are possible for them to do. And you know that these young people are not foolish. They know what is possible. They know what is obtainable elsewhere. Because as you know, Nigerian youths are well-traveled, well-exposed. They have a global mindset. That is why they live in Nigeria, but their soccer clubs are based in the UK. And they live in Nigeria, their telephones are made in South Korea. They live in Nigeria, their cars are made in the US. Very, very, very global set of young people, global mindset. And that is why we just can't wait to unleash their innovation on the world. What you see now that Nigeria is known for is, the inverse side of being innovative. Even being able to do fraud the way we do it baffles law enforcement agents around the world. But Nigeria must move to the other side of it, the positive side of it, where we are creating apps, because we can be the technological driver for Africa or for the world, because we have young people who are very fast on their feet, who are very creative, but they don't have electricity, they don't have infrastructure, they don't have hospitals, they don't have schools that can accommodate even their ideas. I've met a lot of them that are home schools, and the question you ask yourself is, how is it that a guy who couldn't do well in Lagos is doing so well at Harvard, or doing so well at Oxford or Cambridge? There's something just limiting in the country, and we must take off that veil so that Nigeria can meet the world.
Wow. Your strategy plan for Nigeria between 2019 and 2023. What are your strategy plans?
We have them encapsulated in what we call Spicer Heat. And we're starting to break this thing down in a way that they are consumable. And this is to focus exclusively in the next 4 years on 10 things. And one of it is security. There's no way we can have anything else done without securing the country. The country is bleeding right now. Power, we just have to electrify Nigeria. And until we do that, we are deceiving ourselves about, including even improving security, you need power to do it. The more there is light, the less you have crime. Because so many of the petty crimes committed in Nigeria are done because there's darkness everywhere. Infrastructure, we have to turn Nigeria in the next 4 years into a construction site where we are building everything pretty much that we need. Roads, power lines, dams, bridges. We're building schools. We're building pretty much everything buildable, if there's a word like that. And in doing this, we must have a robust policy on fighting corruption. That's the C in the anti-corruption. And we're not going to do it in this deceptive way that is being done right now. It has to be holistic. We have to fight corruption in such a way that we prevent people from stealing, because sometimes it's harder to recover. It's cheaper to prevent than to recover. The moment they steal the money, recovery costs money. In fact, it costs more sometimes to prosecute someone who stole $1 million than it is to prevent him from stealing it. But in case of those who have already stolen, we will embark on massive prosecution, massive recovery of public assets. I am not the one to shy from saying that people have to go to jail if they're stealing. You cannot destroy the future of 198 million people and think that you'll be sitting in a palace pretty happy when the rest of the country have been deprived of water, hospital, roads, all of it, and then you have grounded them to a halt and you start giving them handouts that you call stomach infrastructure. That cannot be acceptable. So we have economy, but the kind of economic development we want to have is not the PowerPoint economy they are doing now, where each time you ask them to show you how the economy is doing, they show you PowerPoints. But people are hungry on the street, people can find jobs. You cannot have the kind of economic policy that we have where we have no growth, but we have progress. It's a lie, it's the reason I'm opposed to that woman who came to be finance minister in Nigeria for 2 consecutive Okonjo-Iweala. She's a failure, she should admit it, and she should apologize for it. In other places, what she did would have been regarded as a crime against humanity, supervising an economy where thieves had free hand to loot whatever they wanted. I don't consider that to be brilliant, even if you have a Harvard degree, for me. So another thing is restructuring, that we have to restructure the country. It's nothing wrong to talk about. There's nothing wrong to talk about restructuring. Some people, with different people, we have different attitude towards restructuring, because restructuring has been taken to be something of an attempt, or it's been used as a threat. So some part of the country feel that when you say restructuring, you want to leave them in poverty or penury. The other part makes it feel like, restructuring is a superiority contest, where if we restructure, we will be better than one side. No, we should do it in such a way that everybody is carried along. But for me, the first restructuring that has to happen in Nigeria is economic. We must empower people, their purchasing power, you know, the ability to play globally must be strengthened before we can talk about anything else. Then we'll come and discuss what the kind of constitution we need. My problem with the current proponents of restructuring, and I say, and I'm not afraid to say it, is that they are not the people to speak for me. They are too old to decide for me. Our restructuring plan must include where the world is. We are living a digital era. Someone who is 80 years old cannot understand in Nigeria of the future when he's already at the departure lounge of life. So I don't want to have a restructuring that is done for me by Lufalai or Baba Edwin Clark or Ayo Adebanjo. I want a restructuring done for me by you, me, that are in this room. Because it's our future that is at stake. We are not at the table where they are having a conversation around this restructuring right now. They are talking at us and talking over our head. But yet, it's going to, the future that they want to design is going to be for us. But guess what? The truth is that their restructuring battle cry is a cry for empowerment for their class. Because for them, Nigeria is their social security unit. That's where each time they lose out of the power sharing game or the loot sharing game, they bring out a complaint, and that's how they reunite and reorganize again, and we are left out of the empowerment game. We cannot afford that anymore. So after restructuring, we're talking about health, education, agriculture, and tourism. You know, when we say tourism, it includes our ability to just captivate the world. Look at entertainment, you know, look at Nollywood, what we are doing with it. These are things that, you know, and I said to people, why can't Nigeria have an airline where you can go from here to London and eat Nigerian food and watch Nigerian movies and just be part of the global game of moving around. Right now, for those of you in London, you know what Nigeria means to your family. Everywhere. Nigeria is the only country in the world that you use to threaten your children. All you need to say to them is, I'm taking you to Nigeria, and they'll say, Daddy, please, anything you want me to do for you, I'm not going to Nigeria. Nigeria should not be like that.
Wow.
It should be a country with which you entice your kids and say, we're going home, and they say, Daddy, when? You know, but Nigeria is such a shame now. So that's, in a nutshell, what we're planning to do for the next 4 years. There are other things that we follow. We just can't, it's a huge package, but this is just for you a peep into the future and a bright future.
Wow. We're going to have the phone line open in just about 2 minutes from now. The number to call to the studio is 0208 133 2257. This is a special broadcast coming live to you on Starr Radio UK. In the last 12 hours of being, well, less than 12 hours that you've been in the country, I know you were having some Nigeria food, so it's good to know that we will be having some airline, our own airline, where we could have, you know, our own food. We still have, you know, a few more questions. I could tell you that there's an entertainment person in the building as well. You know, you did mention entertainment is very, very important.
Entertainment is big. It's not only economic powerhouse for us, it's also a cultural thing. You cannot want to conquer the world without having something that is sweet, that you can present into people's ears. In the country that produced Fela Kuti, Wole Soyinka, Chinua Achebe, cannot just be there without a well-organized, you know, package that has to be going to the world. This is the country that produced Chimamanda Adichie.
Wow.
You know?
Wow.
And and Chiwente. And all of this fantastic guy, even what's it called? This musician, no son, the one whose parents are half Nigerian. He's based in the UK and then in the US. We'll go back to him.
Shade.
No, Shade is from Nigeria. Nigeria is the home of the boxer from the UK.
Anthony Joshua.
Anthony Joshua. Right. We have so much to offer to the world, but guess what? Nigerians are out there doing wonders, but they hate to be associated with Nigeria. Wow. They are abandoning their citizenship. You know, the day President Buhari was in the UK claiming that Nigerian Jews are lazy, a Nigerian girl was winning the 100 meters hurdle. Yes.
Wow.
Almost the same day. Same, and President Babangida Buhari was on the Commonwealth political end. She was winning it at the Commonwealth Games.
Okay, we've got a call coming through now. Hello, good morning. Where are you calling from?
Okay, sorry, I need to put my hair.
Okay, well, you're one of the first to have your question live and direct with the president coming in 2019. Make sure you stay tuned to that question alone. We don't want you to elaborate because we've got a lot of people that want to call. Straight to your question, please. Wow, thank you very much. I'm sure he's got that question. Devolution. What do you think about devolution? Again, the line is open. If you want to join us on this, the number to call is 0208 133 2257. And once more, we really appreciate you taking your time to come down to the studio to speak to the Nigerians and the African community that are living, in United Kingdom. Before the next call comes in, what I just want to find out is, and then I'll be able to bring in Prince Eze and also Emeka to join us as well. What will you do with regard to the ongoing feud between the Hausa, Fulani, and the Igbo?
There is no feud between Hausa, Fulani, and Igbo that I know of. What you heard is the headsmen, who are mostly Fulani, engaging in all kinds of criminal activities, but it's not.
Hold on, caller.
Yes.
Yeah, I want you to land on that first. Yeah,
they're not targeting Igbos. In fact, their greatest victims are people in Zamfara, where they're carrying out what they call cattle rustling, right? And they affect Yoruba farmers. They affect people along the grazing routes on a daily basis. So there is no, that I know of, a feud between Hausa, Fulani, and Igbos, and we have to be very careful about how we frame some of these issues, because it ties to the question of devolution. The question the guy is asking me is devolution of power. It's different from breaking up Nigeria, right? He's kind of suggesting that Nigeria should be broken up. Let me explain this to you. There is no nation in the world that has one united or one single entity of people. America today has got Spanish people, Spanish-speaking people, they have English-speaking people. There are Yorubas in America, there are Igbos in America. In New York, every tribe is represented. But the difference is that whereas there is social justice in that place and it's bringing about unity, there is no social justice in our place. If there's justice, the whole of the continent of Africa could be a country and we'll be happy.
Okay, all right. Let's take that call on right now. Your question, straight to your question. We've got a very busy line. What is your question to Omoyele Sowore? Good morning. Your live, it can hear you live and direct.
Hello, good morning. Yes. Yes.
The other caller needs to hold on. Let this person finish, please.
Go ahead. Wait. Yes.
Thank you very much. We've got that. Let's get the next caller to put the comment through. Thank you very much, caller. Next caller, please. Once again, thank you very much for joining us on this special broadcast live on Star Radio UK, your finest Afro-Caribbean radio station. Let's get the call coming through. Hello, caller. Hello. Okay, maybe you might want to take,
Yes, the question about the China currency.
Yeah.
I don't want to jump into something I don't know. I don't have the details yet. Nigerians officials are fond of lying about their international engagement. So until I find out what truly has transpired, because this is not the first time we are hearing about the Chinese currency swap. They haven't been, yes.
Yes, hello, good morning. Just hold on. Let the lady go first, then we will take you one at a time. Just a question on under a minute. It's a very busy line. What is the question, please?
Okay.
We are onto something here.
It is a very, very odd line.
The lines are blowing up.
Okay.
Yeah, you go on. The lady on the line I want to speak
All right.
to.
Everyone, please. All those on the line. Hold on.
Hold on. Hello.
Hold on.
Hold on.
All those on the line, please.
You
No,
cannot go
please.
until you listen to what we are telling you.
All those on the line, please. Just hold on. We're going to start from the number. That's okay. Hold on. Please turn your sets down. There's so much feedback coming. Turn your sets down. Can we go to the lady number ending 022?
Yes, please. Go on. We can hear you. Go on, please.
Yes.
That's it. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Let's take now the number ending 1022. 1022. Your question now, please. Okay. All right. All right. Thank you very much. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Let's take the number ending now with 144.
Good morning. Yes.
144.
I can hear you.
144.
I can hear
Just
you. Please
continue.
go
I
ahead.
can hear you. Please go ahead. Hold on, please. Yes, 144 is on the line. You are live, but you gotta hold on. Whoever is speaking needs to hold on because there's somebody that is speaking already, so that we can get you in as quickly as possible. You just hold on. Let the person speaking land before you come in, please. 144, you are still live.
Mm-hmm. Yes. 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 That's right. I do. We had a conversation, yes. Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. We've got the message. Thank you very much. We've got so much people that wants to speak. 3207, number ending 207. You're live now to speak. 207. If your number is 3207 from Nigeria, there's a call from Nigeria. That is the one I want to pick now. Good morning. Well, if your number is not 3207, let the person with the 3.
The person with
320 is gone. Let us now.
Tell the person will go to Nigeria.
The 13207. Just continue, please. Yes. Yeah. 3.
Thank you. Good.
Well, all right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We will take 2 more and let him answer the calls. So the number ending now with 889. If you want to put your question now, and then we will let him answer some of the question that he's already have in hand at the moment. We will get you through. We will clear the board first now, but the number ending in 889. If you want to go live now, please. All right. All right, we got that. Thank you very much. Let's take now the number ending unknown. We've got an unknown number. If you're still there. Hello?
There's a lady online.
All right, you just go for it now. Just put for it now. And then we will then put this call on hold until we... Wow. All right. All right. Okay, I think we got that. Let's now take all these comments that have come through. We still have an unknown number. If you're still there, and the number ending 009.
An unknown number.
The unknown number, are you still live with us? Good morning. Hello? Well, anyway, the unknown number is gone. Let us take all the comments that have come through. Thank you very much. There's been a lot of, the line has been jam-packed.
But
I'll let you take it according to...
really excited.
Yeah.
That we're getting this number of calls coming in at the same time. It's a sign of good things to come. And it shows that people have a lot of expectations, and they want to engage and participate in this next process, and as we go to the next level. So I will answer the question about if I don't win. I don't see how we want to win this. we have the population, we have the enthusiasm, the energy, the courage to take on the old people who have taken Nigeria to the cleaners. And it's just for us to clean them out of the system, and we would be fine. There are 75% of us who are below the age of 40 as the population of Nigeria. The election that was won last time was won by 12 million, maybe about 12 million to, was it 15 million votes? And the next person was like about 12 million votes. We have over 40 million votes for young people lying down there that we just need to pick up our PVC on that day, go vote, and we will have a cleaner by midnight on February 16th, which by the way is my birthday. So you guys have to give me that gift. It would be very clear where Nigeria is headed with regards to the results of the election. We don't need to do too many things. We don't need to go too far. We don't need to stress ourselves. We have the number. We just need to take the necessary steps to mobilize people to go and vote ourselves. And for those of you who cannot vote, stay on the phone with your relatives on the day of election. But before then, make sure that you stay on the phone with them now until they get their PVC. If you are sending money to Nigeria, let it be PVC related. That even if you need to put additional jara, as we call it, to ensure that people are mobilized, and you can make sure that they send you a copy of the PVC before you send your next Western Union or whatever transfer you are making home. So this is not something that is difficult. Carrying people along is what we have been doing. I don't know if any one of you have seen our video of 23 days in Nigeria.
We played that,
yes.
just before.
It's unbelievable. The place is ripe for it, and there's no part of Nigeria we went to that people were asking us about religion or ethnicity. They're just saying, what can you do for us? When are you ready to do it? We went from marketplaces to palaces. We went to schools. We went on the road. There's nowhere it's as if everywhere we went, somebody had prepared the ground for it. But nobody was preparing the ground. It was that people have become very conscientized and conscious of what needs to happen next. And they can see the pureness of our heart in our movement. And they've seen that we have done this before. I have 30 years underneath my belt of fighting for what is right and good in Nigeria. I fought all these guys that are there today. We read about them in history books when we were in secondary school and primary school. When we got to the university, we had to fight against them. And some of them are still around. This is the time to clean the Nigerian organ stable and free Nigeria from the shackles of the incompetent and the corrupt people who are mad. I don't want to use any unprintable words on air, but I'm upset that we are still debating whether it will be Sowore or Buhari at this time. The difference is clear, and we are not saying even Sowore. I don't want to use the word Sowore. Let's say it's we and them. The difference is clear. We should not be by now. We should be forming our cabinet. This election should be done very early. First mentally, and then physically. But we have to have a mental, intention to win. People have to decide. People have to see. A lot of people are still in doubt. They have to move from the region of doubt to the region of clarity. That this can be done, and that's why I'm not thinking about losing. Religion is a very sensitive thing in our society. But I've been to church. I've been to mosque. Everybody is looking for a fantastic country, and there's always a correlation between religiosity and poverty.
Okay, let's just take two more calls. Yes. Because I know you have to head out of the studio right now. Just two more calls, and then we'll let you go. 136, the caller 136. Your question straight away. Hello. Yes, just go ahead with your question. We can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, go to the next.
All right, let's go straight to the next caller. 621. Caller 621. No, one. We haven't got time for that. Just one, please. Thank you very much. Just one question. One question. right, we got that local government.
Yeah, it's
Alright.
yeah. It's
Well, that is the line is closed now. We're sorry, we won't be able to pick any more calls.
The fight against corruption will be from the federal to the local government. But the question should be how we stop our governors from stealing local government funds. It is part of the reason why government is not percolating to, real governance is not percolating to the grassroots. That's part of the reason I cannot stand some of the people who are proposing restructuring of Nigeria. Some of them were former governors who refused to allow local government elections to happen for 8 years. Like the governor of my former state, my state, Ondo State, former governor there, Olusegun Mimiko, for 8 years. The guy did not allow local government elections to hold in Ondo State. He did not release local government allocations to the local government. But he's one of the people who is proposing restructuring of Nigeria. When you had a chance to restructure your state, you refuse to restructure it, and you expect me to believe you when you say you want to restructure Nigeria. I know this is a bunch of liars. And that is why we must have a clean break. Somebody mentioned healthcare. It's very important because a lot of our people are actually engaging in ensuring there's great healthcare for other people around the world outside. We have to start with primary healthcare first. A lot of people in Nigeria have never had their blood pressures measured in their lifetime. And we have to deploy primary healthcare givers and providers to the grassroots. It's the way to the devolution that we are asking that we should start with is not the devolution of power that allow people to drive Mercedes-Benz. It should be the devolution of governance to ensure people get health care, they get rural roads, rural electricity, they get those minimum basic needs of life that they deserve from government. So this is I'm sorry that we don't have time to discuss, but I really appreciate your enthusiasm in London. Yeah. You can come tomorrow to come hear me directly and actually ask questions at the University of South East London, Stratford campus.
Tomorrow it's all happening from 2 p.m. at University of East London in Stratford campus, where you're going to be having 4 hours straight
up.
And we'll have a lot of questions. You'll be able to call in as well. At one point, maybe we can take your call during the question time. Let's just, because I know Prince Eze has been sitting there for the last 2 hours as well. Your question to Omoyele Sowore, and then we can tell him, thank you very much, so that he can start making his way right now.
Mr. Sowore,
yes.
Thank you to have you. It's brilliant.
Yes.
And my question is, looking at the children, because for me I know that in every child there is talent hidden that needs to be unlocked. Please, how do you intend to ensure that we unlock the talents of each child, because they're all unique? Because it's this talent that will make the dream you are expressing here come through. How are you going to do that? Secondly, I need you to tell me how you're going to change the military mindset, because for me the military in Nigeria is geared towards suppression of its own people that it ought to be protecting. How are we going to change that mindset?
All right.
Those two. Thank you.
Okay, let us take one more from Mr. Emeka as well. Your question to Omoyele Sowore.
Yes, you're welcome, Mr. President.
Thank you.
My question is this. You see, leadership. A leader is somebody who does something people thought was not possible.
Yes.
Now, can you tell me, do you have the mentality? Because everybody has ability, but the problem is mentality. Do you believe strongly you have the mentality to take up this task?
All right. Thank you very much. And the last question from M. Prince in the building as well. What will be your question to Omoyele Sowore?
Yeah, my question is all about I'm one of the ambassadors for UK Afrobeat United Kingdom and Diaspora. I want to ask the question: what plan do we have for us, we the Afrobeat artists living in diaspora? And also, regarding, are you trying to, when you come in next year, which we believe you will definitely come in, are you planning to set up a special organization for the entertainment industry in Nigeria that will give us a chance in order to operate in our music career in all over diaspora?
Okay, that's gonna be the final question as well, and I'll let you take that, and then we can.
I'll go very direct with you regards to your question about the child. The solution is education more education and bigger education, we have to let schools be built in every nook and cranny of Nigeria. And maybe the best way to do it is also partner with churches and mosques. There's a church now in every corner of Nigeria, but there are not schools or mosques. It's to make sure that they have a role to play in providing qualitative, free, and acceptable education. When I use the word acceptable, I know what it means, because there are some education that just teach people rubbish, and that is what we have right now. Government must make deliberate investment. Whatever potential you had that brought you to the UK, you probably first discovered in school. You know, because school is just not a block where it's a place for engagement and interaction. There are schools in Nigeria that did not have teachers, but the students became great people because they had a chance to rub minds with others. So schools are great solution. Education is big solution, and technology is going to help us bring more education to people. I keep saying that it is no longer necessary to build a big library anymore. I'm sure you've heard about the encyclopedia, right? The one that I used to have on the wall. People are selling them that nobody wants to buy because you can put an encyclopedia here. That is what Wikipedia is about. Technology has to be brought so aggressively into our education, so that instead of having libraries with books, we can have notebooks with several libraries. Military, look, we have to just stop our military from engaging in civilian activities. You cannot see a UK military man on the street beating up people because they don't engage in controlling traffic. You know, the moment there is no war to be fought, they take off their uniform. The solution is to strengthen our police force. And I want to take the force out of police, you know, because the police we have now has a constabulary mentality. It was the way the British set them up before independence that they're still behaving. So we have to create a police department as opposed to a police force. A police department can have different roles to play, including community policing. But the police force is out there to suppress. That's how they're designed. So we must take all of that from our military system. The mentality to do that you mentioned, I mean, I single-handedly created a website 12 years ago known as Sahara Reporters, which all of you know. And there's nobody it has not taken on. It has taken on the rich, the powerful, sometimes even some individuals that are not particularly powerful and rich, but are aspiring to become thieves. And all of them, we have been able to confront them. We've confronted problems that we thought had no political solutions. Like the problem of a Yaradua who was dying in hospital and people were lying about his state of health. That was going to tear Nigeria apart. You know, when Nigeria was going to be torn apart in 2015 with the election, it was our timely reporting of the election that brought about a free and fair election. And that's why Nigeria is still... Up until then, what was the prediction about Nigeria in 2015? That Nigeria would break after the election. But we're still there today because we had a free and fair election, and we contributed heavily to that. So I'm always the guy who loves to do things that people think is impossible, and we're about to do the next impossible next year. Entertainment. Entertainment is such a huge industry that we don't have to be constructing epitaphs of former entertainers. We should construct a city of entertainers in Nigeria, and that is where you guys come in. We have to pay special attention to entertainment because it's a money earner, and we cannot just ignore it simply because that's why I was talking about an airline. I'm just using that as an example. Can you imagine getting on an aircraft to Nigeria? You're flying for 9 hours or 12 hours, and you get the chance to watch 5 movies, and all of it is from Nigeria. Right now, you have to beg Delta to give you. I don't even think there's a Nigerian movie on British Airways yet, and they make the most profits from us. KLM goes to Nigeria. Alitalia, British Airways, Virgin Atlantic, all of them, they are heading to Nigeria. Emirates. But Emirates is the only place we have ever found a Nigerian movie. Only 5 of them. But we have to change that. We have to take this message to the world by replicating and multiplying our cultural influence. The same way that we can do that is the same way that we can make more money from entertainment. You look at it now, every major US artist want to go and perform in Nigeria. But we are not getting our artists to go and perform in the US because we are not making it competitive. But we are doing well in Africa. Can we do better? Of course. You need a president who has an entertainment mentality. Most of our presidents actually think entertainment is sin. Yes, it's true.
Yes.
That's the way they think. They don't go to movies. They don't participate in music carnivals. You know, they are not allowing entertainment to flourish because they have this puritanical mentality that entertainment is sin. Whereas entertainment is a big deal. Our value-added taxes mostly come from entertainers. You know, most people that are coming to Nigeria bringing in dollars, bringing in euros, bringing in pounds are entertainers. So you can be guaranteed that you have a major place in our future. And also the same thing with sports. I mean, look at, you know, some of the best guys that we produced to the world in the last 20 years. They were soccer players. You know, the JJ Okochas of this world, Kanu, they took it from nowhere to the highest level. And they're flying the Nigerian flag, Rashidi Yekine. So why is it that we do not have a stadium? There's no stadium you can call international standard in Nigeria. We should have a stadium in every university, in every high school. You know, what's wrong with us? But whatever is wrong with us is about to be right with us.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. Just to close it up now, to everyone that have been watching us from all over the world and listening to us, what will be your closing remark? And thank you once more for joining us on this special broadcast.
There's no closing remark yet. Because we just started. So, but it's great to say to our people, those who are watching, following us online, that there's more to come, and we urge you not to make it about the Sowore affair. It's all of us. Everybody that's upset about what is going on in Nigeria should be on board. You should be on board as of yesterday, you know, and forget ethnicity, forget religion. We have the same blood flowing in our system, you know. They've used that to divide us for too long. But when there's hunger, it doesn't recognize Igbo, Hausa, or Yoruba man. When there's disease, it doesn't recognize poverty, don't have any respect for religion or ethnicity. And the way Nigeria is today was because they've used ethnicity to divide us for so long. They've used religion to suppress us for too long. If we get past that, we will be in dreamland. The same thing that we're trying to do now is what the Europeans have done, and they call their beautiful part of the world the European Union. So how about an African Union? I'm saying that Nigeria is not even big enough for us. We should be playing on the continent of Africa. That's where we should be. So if the Europeans can get it right, Africans should be able to get it right, so that we'll be discussing policy, international affairs, trade on the same footing. Not that somebody will be dictating to you which products you should bring into their own economy and which products they can dump on you.
Wow. We will play the national anthem just to close this special live broadcast. Thank you once again to all our viewers. I hope you've been able to enjoy it as much as possible, but make sure you join us tomorrow from 2 p.m. at University of East London at the London Town Hall meeting. To all the team that are working around the clock, the Sowore UK team, I say to you, thank you very much as well, and we'll be back again with you tomorrow. For those that are watching us, coming up next is the Starr Morning Show with Mr. Ache. But once more, thank you to all the viewers and listeners. Make sure you join me on Niger Voices every Wednesday between the hours of 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Once again, let us listen to the national anthem.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for listening. listening.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening.
My heart is refreshed. Please. I believe in prayer as well as work. So please, can we just say, minute of prayer? I need to. My God says we must pray. This man is doing the work, so I need this prayer. Please, my dear brother, if you don't mind. Almighty and ever living God, the Father of our Lord Jesus Christ, we just want to cover this man, this young man you brought in our midst to liberate humanity. You put the words in his mouth to speak, and those words are refreshing our hearts. Now, God Almighty, we know that each time you're working, the devil wants to interrupt. Now we cancel every plan of the evil against him in Jesus' name. Amen. We cover him because we know that even when you sent Moses, you had to cover him. Therefore, we pray that you've given us our Moses to liberate us. Now, God, cover him in Jesus' name. Amen. Cover him in Jesus' name. Amen. Every plan of the evil one defeated in Jesus' name. We commit him now into your hands. Go, and God will be with him. Amen. Oh God. Amen. Oh God. Amen. Listen, I'm giving you, these are copies of my books. Okay. Okay. There are 4 of them. That's mine. I'm just giving it to you. Wow. I've put some of the questions, some of the things I wanted you to think about as little things here. Wow. In each of them, I didn't want to belabor you with words. Like here, you can read these things. It gives you a little bit of an idea of what I'm thinking. Wow. And here, I keep maintaining let's orientate our people. Wow. In each of them.
We can
You can't read the whole thing. Just
or even the front room. You know, you can take pictures.
You have given me what to do on the next flight.
May God be with you.
Thank you.
I'm the publisher of this magazine, C-Hub magazine.
Wow.
In fact, my wife wanted to interview you on Tough Talk.
Is that a radio show?
It's online.
Wow.
Tough Talk. So,
what do you have Richard's number?
Yeah, I'll give you our contact. Yeah.
Who's gonna be
My brother, my
you.
name is I'm ambassador for UK Artists Afrobeat in United Kingdom. So we have gathered all our fans together already supporting.
Doctor,
So
sorry,
by
you
the
see,
grace of God,
studio environment, once I get working,
Thank you.
I actually want minimal interaction.
Picture one. Okay. Okay.
Thank you.
All right, let's go outside.
Thank you.
Start moving now.
Yes.
We're heading to do this.
Yes, yeah, we're heading to. Now we're heading to BBC now. Empress also going with them to BBC, so we're all going to BBC now.
Can you take him behind the bar?
Yeah, we take the picture now.
Yeah.
Photo driver, could you just take a bit of?
All right. Here, that's it.
Yeah, actually, send them as well. Then, let the phone driver. Drive.
Let me step out. No, just hold on. I want us to get a clean shot. Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Okay.